Welcome back. Welcome in. It's Country Roads Confidential at earsports.com. This is a Paramount podcast. I'm Mike Casazza. Chris Anderson, not a negative Nelly. I don't have a concussion for playing pickleball. Those are the highlights from a sickly but exciting post-game news conference, and yet the action before the game just as zany. And I want to just recap a couple things here. West Virginia honors the Sugar Bowl team from 2005. Phil Brady prominently involved. We didn't have a fake punt. We had just a complete disdain for punting. Neither team wanted to punt. Lots of fourth down attempts. And also the game kind of swings early, momentum at least, on a block punt. Steve Slayton is honored for going to the College Football Hall of Fame. Dior Hubbard honors him with a wheel route for a 69-yard gain. And then, I mean, clearly Colorado, it just makes sense to have one of the best two-way players in the country flexing his muscle like Curtis Jones did today. This just felt like one of those days for West Virginia in like every aspect you can define it. It was going to be their day. Maybe it wouldn't be their day, and they give the game away. And then ultimately at the end, just like we expected 2 weeks ago, we're talking about a bowl game now, Chris. Rich Rodriguez letting that cat out of the bag.
I was gonna say, let's slow down. We are not talking about a bowl game. Rich Rodriguez is talking about a bowl
What are we
game.
doing right now?
Okay, you are talking about a bowl game. You and Rich are talking about a bowl
Yeah.
game. I'm not ready to go there yet. But yeah, this was one where, I mean, I don't know. You look at it and it's like West Virginia could not run the ball. They struggled to run the ball. 3 yards per carry. It felt like every other drive. One of the running backs was coming out hobbling. Scotty Fox was hobbling. Um, Passing the ball, two interceptions, not a ton of huge plays. And I don't know, like it's weird because this whole game it felt like West Virginia was going to win the game, but it didn't feel like they were dominating the game. At one point, they turned it over inside their own 20 and then turned it inside of the other team's 20. Like you add some of these things up. Three turnovers, one inside your own 20, one inside the other 20. Can't run the ball, can't throw the ball really well. Like that should be trouble. You should lose those type of games. And West Virginia didn't. And quite honestly, like, it never felt like they were going to. I mean, they didn't run away with it, and that's why they didn't run away with it. But they seemed like the better team throughout the entire game.
15 tackles for a loss.
That will do it.
And
And
it's
and
better
that
than
was
that.
something I think you and I were talking. We talked about sacks allowed that Colorado has, and it's partly because like just how long the quarterbacks just hold onto the ball. And another stat because we got derailed on that, but like Colorado came to the game like 124th out of 136 teams in tackles for loss allowed. Again, sacks count into those numbers, but there's still negative plays outside of that on rushes and stuff too.
I don't know where to begin here. I'm trying to go back to our things we going to talk about to the game. I picked pressure. I think that probably turned out to be a true
hmm
thing today. 7 sacks is a lot in the game for West Virginia, a lot for anybody. Yours, because I went first. I don't know if I stole yours or
I
not. What
think
was
no,
yours?
I think I jumped over to red zone because yeah, I think pressure might have been the one or sacks.
I mean, that mattered
Yeah.
for sure. But the one my takeaway from this is that, man, Colorado did upgrade a quarterback.
Yes.
Like again, some of the stuff just didn't make sense. They should have had better performances and statistics out of the quarterback position based on what they were, what we thought of their offensive line. Their offensive line was not, it wasn't great today, but also it wasn't itself. They're missing their two tackles. Welcome to college football, Juju Lewis. That said, irrespective of the stats I gave you about the PFF and the pass efficiency marks for the offensive line, it's hard to really um, transfer that to what you saw today because the personnel was so different. But the change from Slater to Lewis looks like a pretty good spike. I mean, he's almost 300 yards, and he got hot during parts. You're right. He was not great at the beginning, 3 for 8, and just getting besieged by Zach Alley. Then settled down, got a little bit better pass blocking. Just decided, like, you know what? Number 4 is good. I'm gonna throw it to him. This guy will be in the middle of the field. I'll let him dig into or out, and he just settled in and let the ball go and let his guys make plays. And Colorado, I mean, they might have the quarterback position figured out for the next couple of years because he looks like a keeper. Which leads me to this thing, Chris. It's that time. Are you willing to give Scotty Fox the crown?
No, we're still
We have to do this after every game, right?
yeah, I know everybody's going to ask it. It'll probably still be in the mailbag on Tuesday or Wednesday whenever I write it. Because I guarantee you, if you ask us that question, we will not answer on the podcast on Monday because we're answering it right now. It's still the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah. That said, and this is why like stats are not necessarily indicative of this. I don't hate either of his interceptions.
No.
Wasn't there for the first half because of a targeting suspension. So he's not there. He makes a play right away in the second half. And then the fourth down interception, you got to put the ball in play. Just try. And
Yeah.
I know it's an arm punt, whatever you got to call it, but you're not going to get anything if you run out of bounds or if you throw it out of bounds. You throw it into danger, that's bad, but you have to throw the ball there. Maybe he shouldn't have gone right. Maybe he should have done something quicker. I don't know, but I don't hate that in that spot. 4th and 6 was a tricky situation for him, and you got to do something otherwise you're going to turn it over anyway. So 2 picks, that's bad, but for a guy who hadn't thrown one in 101 attempts, it's a pretty good streak that snaps there. Not that you celebrate the streak ending, but celebrate the 101 attempts, and you see that back-to-back interceptions is more exception than rule for sure. You could qualify it, and if you just look at the stats and say, man, he threw 2 picks, he did, but here I am being an apologist for Scotty Fox as usual.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, both can be not just waved away. They can be explained. And again, it takes some nuance with some of these things. They're not as bad. I mean, these interceptions compared to the interceptions he threw against Pitt, it's not even close. Like the ones against Pitt, you were like, oh my God, this kid's scared. He's terrified. That was a terrible pass. He didn't see that guy, etc. These were just, man, that's tough. That's tough spots right there. Um, as for Lewis, like, yeah, that was this was how it was going through the game. Right at the beginning, it was like, oh man, Allie's got it dialed up, and the players are executing these things perfectly. But that it's not that. I mean, you can't be perfect the entire game with the play calling and the execution with some of these rushes, and we saw it because there was a few blitzes that got dialed up, and I don't know if it was the wrong call or just an unfortunate timing of a call because of what the offense was doing, or just poor execution. But there was some where they dialed up these blitzes and the blitzes didn't get there. They weren't even like there was a couple there that was like there was one in particular where there's two blitzers that came in. They both went around the left side or the right side of the line. They went to their left. It was like 8 seconds, and Lewis is just hanging out back there. And those guys are still trying to make their way to the quarterback with no one blocking them. They're just taking forever because of how they timed it, I guess. And then you just got one on one. Like, I mean, that's the point. It's like if you're going to blitz, you're leaving your guys on an island. And Colorado's receivers made plays. Colorado's quarterback made some nice throws. And, again, West Virginia's defense got there more times than it didn't, or at least got pressure more times than it didn't. And that's why they're successful.
Curtis Jones,
Hmm.
success. My only complaint about that is I don't know why he wasn't in the game on the drive that ended with the Ryan Ward touchdown. Like Hubbard gets a 69-yard reception. They hand it to him right away. I got to think
He's
he wants a
exhausted.
break.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Fox hurries right into a QB sneak, which I think that's 1 for 17 this year or something like that. It feels like it's not working. And you got the 240-pound linebacker who just ran through people on his first attempt. I would give it to him again. But that second touchdown, that just looked like a team that had faced, what, 8 or 9 runs before he took 2 cracks at the oak tree there and knocked it over. That seemed like it was a good idea there, too. I just want to talk about a couple game management things. One, I was right about to enter the room. What was Sanders doing at the end of the game?
I have no idea because so it was the fourth, it was third down and 13. And like you have to know in that situation because you're down 10, like you're kicking a field goal if you don't get it, unless you get it down to like fourth and one because you need two scores. So you need a touchdown, you need a field goal. And they threw it out of bounds, and then they just kind of left the offense out there. And then they all just kind of stared around, and like the assistant coaches are looking at Deion Sanders like, "Hey, what are we doing?" And he was like, "Oh, timeout." I was like, "Oh God." I mean that it didn't. I might as well have ended the game because essentially, even I mean West Virginia got the first down, so it didn't matter. But with that extra timeout, that's 40 seconds basically, give or take a second or two, in a game that might only have 40 seconds remaining in that situation. Like I just couldn't. It was unbelievably bad.
I think I value the timeout more than the 5 yards there. You got a good kicker. I think it
Yeah,
was 20, is it a 42 or 43-yard kick?
if that. Yeah.
I mean, I probably do that. A note on the kicking, by the way, it's a 3-point game when Colorado has the ball late. They're going down to maybe tie the score, maybe take a lead. The kicker missed an extra point. He also hit the crossbar. He was 25 for 25 this year. He'd made 104 straight extra points. and he misses one and dings another one off the post and was lucky it went through. That was crazy too. Just a hard day for kickers. Wind. I was down the field before the game. The wind was really gusty, and they were saying maybe 20 miles an hour would be like their top gust today, and it felt like more than that. Just one more note on weird stuff too. I don't know if this came across in the broadcast, but the stadium was on fire. Like
I'm sorry,
literally,
what?
not like not. I'm talking literally here, not figuratively. Not like, oh, the crowd was great and there was energy. It was on fire. They shoot those fireworks off from behind the scoreboard,
Hmm.
and I don't know what happened, but like one of them was like smoldering, and that I like
Awesome.
I was like, oh, there's smoke. It's from the fireworks, but it didn't go away. So I looked over again. I was like, I think it's a flame. So I got my binoculars out and I looked again, and this is over the end zone in the hospital end to the left of the scoreboard. So if you're like in those 200s on the left side to the left of the press box, it's over on your side. I look over and like all of a sudden there's a man on the roof up there, like comes up like the service stairs, and he's walking toward a closet, and he's 10 feet away from this thing, and it explodes.
Oh
It's
God.
like a fireworks show going off, right? He comes over, he's got a fire extinguisher, he puts it out. But again, just a really weird game. With that being a highlight for me for whatever reason too, and then it just kind of followed the script from there. A lot of strange things that happened, including first first punt block for a safety, Chris, since 2014. 2-0. They score in the first quarter again.
Yeah.
They're finding new ways to get points in the first quarter. The curse is broken, and everything's coming up Rodriguez right now.
Could you parlay first points, blocked punt, safety, first touchdown, Curtis Jones Jr. linebacker? No, like can't do that.
I don't think DraftKings is letting you because they just you would own DraftKings, not ESPN at that point. I
That's
think.
right.
Yeah,
Didn't they get rid of ESPN Bet? That's
yeah.
on. It's dead now. Wait, by the way, a little quick tangent here. Speaking of ESPN, now for those that are watching this or listening or whatever, Mike's in the press box. Sometimes we got Andrew on the sideline. I'm at home watching the TV version of this. The TNT HBO production value, the cameras, the HD is light years better than ESPN. It's unbelievable. Like ESPN has like a 30-year head start on this. They've been doing it for decades. And HBO, TNT, whoever we want to say is in charge of that, it was way better. Like a much more enjoyable experience watching that than watching ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I've watched a couple of their games. Like, well, the UCF game was, I mean, it was miserable for probably most people watching this, but it was a TNT game, and I thought the production was really good. And the people, I'm not necessarily a fan of the talent, but I thought they were pretty good. And then I've just seen a couple of their games on TV, and one, they care about the Big 12. That's important. So they do their
Yes.
homework and they talk to the coaches and the players and all that. But you're not the first person who just today has told me that it was pretty satisfactory from a viewer standpoint too. And get used to that because they had the contract for a while. I'll be part of it. Um, so my other question for you:
Hmm.
didn't run the ball well today. Ran the ball great last week. It's McConney, Ole, and Crawford are back on the right side. They had not been there together the past two games. I don't know if we see them there again or if we should see them there again. I don't know that I'm saying anything that hasn't been brought up in tailgates or text threads for a while. It just seemed like that when Fox is under pressure or when things were caving in against the run, it was coming from that right side. Could be that maybe that's the field side and that's where pressure is coming from, and it's a coincidence. It could be that their left rush end is just a better player than the right rush end. I don't know, but I have a hard time believing that these things just keep stacking up there. And I gotta think that they're not happy enough with Lee as a right guard, with Young Bear over McConioli as a right guard, with Agbo over Crawford as a tackle, but just it over and over again today. Like there's one play where I don't know what like Crawford chased the guy who dropped back in coverage.
Yeah, that's
Sounds
that's a play I
strange
want to
thing.
talk about. So yeah, go
Oh yeah,
ahead.
okay, really? Okay, you saw this?
No, yeah, that and they singled it out on the television as well. Because again, they got one
Oh,
of the
what a
guys in the
segue.
booth. Yeah, so Mike Golick Jr., offensive lineman guy, like
Mhm.
family of offensive linemen, he brought it up, circled it up, and yeah, like I guess he was a linebacker or whatever he was on the edge, was standing up over Crawford's face and then dropped back into coverage, and then a different edge rusher came in to rush the passer, and it's like, oh, he got confused, and yeah, maybe he did get confused, but if you are in a pass pro, your first step should be, stepping back. You should be kicking back no matter what. But instead, he kind of went forward, like towards the guy going into coverage, like you're talking about. and then had a like he stepped forward, like lunged out forward, and then had an oh crap moment as the guy ran free right at Scotty Fox. So there were two guys there. He blocked nobody, and Scotty Fox had 0.23 seconds to try to do something with it. And that was third down, and I think that was a third down play.
Red zone.
Yeah.
Um, they
That's
highlighted that during the game.
they not only highlighted it, they then came back from commercial and telestrated it, circled it, everything. So yeah, that one was talked about quite a bit.
You know the Leo DiCaprio gif where he's got like a cigarette and a drink and he points at the TV?
Yeah, yeah. That's that one.
You think that was like the Brown household in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
You
Here's your
can play
starting
right
spot.
guard. You
There
can
you
play
go.
right tackle, kid. You can do it.
Right there.
Um, we need to circle back on that before we're done here too. What else stands out on this one here? It just there's some funny things that happen. There's some like just notes and streaks and asterisks. They win by like 7. They recover an onside kick. They get some help because of Dion's timeout. Um, I'd much rather see that quarterback now than 2 weeks from now because I think he's
Hmm.
probably going to be pretty good. I might be worried if I was Kansas State and I catch him in the finale. I think at Kansas State, Arizona State. I can't remember. Um, I don't know. Just like what else stands out about this one here because they're I don't know. Just it wasn't pretty. I think Rodriguez will tell you too. They could play better. They didn't play great. It's not. It is not. Absolutely, last week was a step forward, and so is today because they win. I think anytime you win, you're taking a step forward, and when you keep yourself alive for like a real conversation now about a bowl bid, which whatever, no dings on that one. It's not as big of a step forward, but I would just say this too. They were in some tough spots. Turnovers, penalties, momentum, and just didn't like you said that you never felt like it was going to fall apart for them. And you just can't say that about other times. They'd be in a game or they'd be at least even early. And like once it started to get away, it was going to get away and stay away. This never really got away, never mind stayed away from him. I think that's probably a really good sign.
The thing that really stands out to me is just like on the defense. Like again, I thought it was a very solid game. Rich Rod pointed out you did as well here about was it perfect? No, there were like some missed tackles in there. Still a little bit of that, hit it big or give it up big kind of situation. But they are doing so many things, and that's been talked about. But they're playing so many people, so many people. Mike, could you take a stab at how many defensive players recorded a tackle today?
31.
Not quite. 27. But they're just out there all the time. Like, I
Mm.
mean, there's just new dudes out there. According to this, uh, Filippo started. Is that right? Do we have him
Did it
as
really?
start? That's what the stat broadcast official box score says that he started.
I didn't notice that because I just assumed Perry would be out there, but maybe so.
Yeah, I don't.
Great
I
week of
mean,
practice.
yeah. As I said, they have him officially listed as a starter. These starters: Coates, Siders, Carter, Chambers, Lewis, Wilson, Filippo, Carrico, Grant, Redwood, and Visterinen.
Hmm.
So they have him listed as a starter. He was out there. I mean, obviously, Perry, they don't have Perry listed as a starter. Perry obviously was very much involved, led the team in tackles or tied for the team leading tackles. But Filippo was also in there. Like, it was like a 3rd and 2 play where Colorado tried to make a quick throw in the red zone and the corner broke on it and the safety that broke on it to help break it up was Filippo. Like, and I'm sitting here like, wait, that's a true freshman
Yeah.
in there on 3rd and 2 who has been around the depth chart, has been around and in on especially on special teams and stuff. But again, there's just like a lot of dudes that keep coming in and playing for the defense right now.
Mhm. I just like that. I mean, a couple weeks ago, they played everybody they could on defense on the road.
Yeah.
UCF, and I don't know if that was a punishment or if that was just because they're trying to be productive, but they've had more players out there for sure, too. All right, Chris, 2 games left.
Mm-hmm.
That will be an underdog against, I'm guessing, Jeff Sims for sure at Arizona State.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of an underdog. They'll be a massive underdog against Texas Tech, which looks like, I mean, clearly the best team in the Big 12 right now, but it did a number on BYU. It was a shutout the last time I saw, and I believe BYU would kind of wave the flag. I don't know how that ended up,
I
but
think it was 29-7 or whatever it was. I think they might have got a Garbage time.
kind of a demolition of there. So you're starting to see some order here, which means like maybe the excitement comes from the bottom of the standings, and West Virginia can mix things up. But Arizona State's out of it now too. So I don't know, but let's just say they win next week. How wild is the game here Thanksgiving weekend?
I don't know. I assume most of the students will be gone. I mean, Thanksgiving weekend's never a big
Mhm.
weekend as far as attendance goes. So hopefully there's some good excitement. I mean, what they are, that's the 29th, right? Yeah, that is the 29th that would be. That's when they're planning on having several key official visitors on campus too. So Rich Rodriguez is, I don't want to say rolling the dice. I mean, this isn't like, your high school homecoming where you schedule the deaf and blind school down the road and beat them by 50 and everyone has a great time. This is you are bringing in a bunch of recruits to go play when you're playing against a top 10 team when there's a very real chance that you'll have 45,000 people in attendance just because it's Thanksgiving weekend. So, the atmosphere may not be that, but if you roll that dice and you pull off something crazy, it'll be unforgettable for those recruits. So, I don't know. I mean, that's going to be something else that weekend for sure. If West Virginia can beat Arizona State, have you done an APR score check lately, just in case 5-7 get you in a bowl game with the right APR
What is
score?
APR anymore? Why are we even doing that?
I
Like, it
don't
doesn't
know.
matter.
I was just thinking about it the other day. I tried to look it up and was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
So I have a text from a friend who watched this game. I actually have a couple pretty good ones that are not going to make text for game day, but it says, "How was this? How was this a close game? How is this not a close game?" Like, there's almost two different user experiences here, and I'm looking at the stats, and the stats are pretty even. Like, okay, it was an onside kick. Maybe that's as simple as that. But I think you could say that for parts of this game, West Virginia outplayed them. But I think you're probably a West Virginia fan too, and you look at other parts of the game in Colorado's like, boy, we were right there. We had some
Hmm.
things, and I think about two times, Chris, they had a 40+ yard pass, and that's first and 20, third and 40. Like just
Yeah.
that happened twice in the game. I'm like, boy, this team, no wonder they're 3-7 right now too. Um, I think that quarterback makes it a lot easier for Dion to recover over the summer, over the offseason, and come back next year because they're going to get talent. They have talent too, but they're going to get players on offense, and they'll probably do something with their offensive line finally too. But um, I'm looking at stats now too. Like they did not run the ball 1 yards per carry, but that's a lot of the sacks. 3.7 is above average for them. West Virginia ends up at 180 yards rushing if you take away um, some of the crazy runs there. And boy, their gadget plays were just bizarre today. Almost as
Yeah.
bizarre as Scotty Fox's first and 10 QB sneak at the end of the first two. I don't know what that was all about.
I don't either. I don't know if they were, I don't, obviously they weren't giving up on things there. They were still trying to get that field goal in, but that was odd for sure.
Hubbard 16 carries, Bowers 9, Fox 17. I think that's probably like those are gonna be your top three ball carriers for sure. There's no room for a third. Unless Chris, would you mix Jones into it more in the normal run of play, or are you specifically just inside the 4 yard line?
I gotta ask this. How much did he play on defense or did he at all?
Did not start, and then Siders is out there a lot, and they have him flexing from bandit to end a bunch. And Robinson and Oxley played a bunch too. Like Oxley was
I say
pretty
there's
effective. Yeah.
I list the what did I say 27 defenders that had a stat. He is not one of them. Curtis Jones.
Did
So
not play a lot of snaps last game either.
I don't know if this is a slow transition, if this is a necessary, hey, just finish out the year as a running back kind of thing. And if it is, you might as well play him some more because he's obviously, got the talent there.
Man, what a what a flip of the coin. I can't believe that. All right, let's wrap up on this. We have not talked about what the stadium is going to look like a couple years from now, Chris.
Oh
We'll talk
yeah.
about the stadium in a couple weeks. We have not talked since the project was unveiled, and I mean, really, lack of a better phrase, approved. They basically didn't say ground, but they said go buy the shovels.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? This looks like it could be a pretty visually appealing addition to the stadium, and then I mean, some of the financials are arresting. Most especially the fact that it's all private dollars and donor dollars, which
Hmm.
means nobody in the stadium is going to have to pay extra for this, Chris. If you choose to believe that, which is what they are choosing to sell people, I don't know. We'll see. But your thoughts on what you read and heard yesterday and how it relates to the future?
I did choose not to believe that, first off. No offense to anybody that's pitching that,
Mhm.
but I think it looks great. The renderings look awesome. I mean, are you going to be on that top level? Like, are they got like a for the press box for you? They're going to have like a suite up there just for you, like little jacuzzi tub up top for you guys. I don't know, But I think it's a great look. It's going to modernize things a lot, which we've heard. Yeah, it's they're like I'm not saying they're piecemeal, like they're doing parts around of being like we got to update this area. And they've done it every few years and done little things. And most recently was kind of the LED light situation, which didn't require shutting down half the stadium or having to do major construction. But it's little things like that that make things more modern and will help out. And the fact that it could bring in that kind of money
Yeah.
with what they would sell those for, I think it's a no-brainer. Like, I mean, at that point, you're not even quite. My question is there a way to find out how to do it quicker and get it up a year earlier? Because I think that looks great. Somebody brought something up on the board that got me thinking. They said, hey, find a way to switch where the cameras are so that it'll show that new side. Um,
Oh yeah.
First off, the cameras are in that building. So it's part of what the building is where some of those cameras are up there. That is where, so that's going to be difficult. But little dilemma there. Do you want to show the new fancy side of the stadium, or do you want to show the side with the students in it? No. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
You know where that goes. Yeah.
I
The students,
was,
come
I
on.
was trying to set you up. I was trying to set you up, and I was going to clip that into a nice little 30-second YouTube and just put it out there for everybody.
I wonder if they could. Like, there's an opportunity to have your $150 million edition showcase quite often, but you're still seeing the field a bunch. And how many times do they really pan out and do that? I mean, could they put a camera? Could they just turn that sky camera to the left instead? Maybe, but it's a good question. But I think you're just set up for that.
Well,
I have.
do you have answers on some of this? I mean,
Oh yeah.
we've never talked about this, but about the cameras, because like today, the angles that come from this HBO TNT seem to be better and more, I don't know, like just some of the more unique, if you will, than what ESPN is. Maybe I'm just
Hmm.
imagining it here, but at least some of the things where the camera's over top of the field, where it's strolling around and going behind the quarterback and everything like that. It looks different, but I'm assuming it's always the same because I'm assuming it's the same track that's up there. I mean, the same rope. No, it's not a rope, obviously. It's a cord, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming it's the same track for regardless of TV station, or is it unique to the program that's putting it on?
You could have like proprietary stuff too, like maybe ESPN's Zoom for lack of a better phrase, or on your cell phone you can back up to point 0.5, or you can zoom
Mhm.
it into maybe TNT's. It's just a little bit different. They have a or maybe they have different camera lenses, or like I said, perhaps the way they adjust and focus and their aperture, so to speak, is different. I don't know. I haven't seen the game, so
Yeah.
like I saw the UCF game, but I mean now I'm eager to go back and look at this West Virginia broadcast, see what that looks like. And then I can ask around about that. I don't know, but like I would imagine that the cameras are the cameras because it's just easy for someone to come in and plug into where they are.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, if you're saying that, then I believe you for sure. I'll have to go take a look at that and ask around. Something that was a couple things on the stadium thing I think were important too is that if this is going to take them 2 years to build, they're going to start digging and breaking things down next year. You'll have, or after the 26th season, 27 will be compromised.
Hmm.
Chris, I don't know what they're going to do because I think that taking down the press box and putting it back up is a big part of this. And coaches work in the press box,
Yeah.
not going to take the press box down during the 27 season. And if that's the case, are they going to be able to get that done in the winter, spring months in Morgantown? Or are they going to build behind it and you can work out of that? I don't know. Like that's something I'm thinking of because never mind the media, no one does. Like we're gonna get shafted in this in the Coliseum, I'm sure. Like I'm pretty sure in the Coliseum we're gonna be the 200s in the corners now. Um, but they're not gonna have the coaches not in a coaching box for the game.
Right.
So I wonder how that's going to work there too. But 27 is done in time for the 28 season, and if you're talking like 5 year capital commitments here, you're paying your debt services early in like the lifespan of this, and you're not paying it over time. You're not coming up with the funding after it's built. You're paying a lot of it down beforehand. So like if they're starting to get commitments already and it's 5 years, and you're talking not until 28, you're talking 2 or 3 years already done by the time you get to the finish line of the project. So that's pretty good, I think, too. And then some of the other stuff that he mentioned, Ren Baker, making it more convenient, welcoming, accommodating for concerts, which means they may do work on the tunnels because you can't get equipment in there. If you ever look at the Coliseum and they had that huge tunnel behind the away basket, why is that there? What's the function? It's so they can get equipment in for stuff like that, concerts and just other events and other venues that the venue has. So that's interesting. There's a dual purpose now. You can have concerts, you could have other events there too, for sure. And then because 27 is going to compromise the fan experience, you're going to move some fans. People who are in suites right now are not going to have them. They're going to create temporary suites. There's no way that's a one-off.
Right.
Where they relocate those fans, if those fans like it, or if the user experience is such that it's a keeper idea, you've created by need, but almost by accident, another tier premium seating. Don't know what it's going to look like, but like if they start putting people in corners, for example, if they move the marching band, if they take the away students, like there's little pockets of possibilities in the stadium. If you look at it, you can look at it in the corners, especially. I wonder if this is like they trip and fell into something also useful here. Like, are they going to have a second level or second tier premium seating here because they had to do some accommodations during the 27 season? And even he mentioned, like, yeah, people like it, we'll do it. And that might replace that, what do they call it? The Home Depot tailgate with the plastic chairs and tables on the field, which they wouldn't do, but people like it.
Yeah.
Which is why that one-off thing may not be a thing. If they put people in new spots and you're moved, like, well, I don't want to go up to this like this super duper founders level that's gonna be very expensive. This place you sat me this year is pretty cool actually. And I didn't want to move from here. You made something different and nicer. Can I have something else? And that might be a suitable alternative for everybody there. Never mind West Virginia, which wants to have more of these premium seats.
Yep. Oh boy. The desperate grab for more money.
Speaking of, you want to talk Kevin Brown?
Oh, I was gonna say, do we have a VIP deal or something?
We could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What you want to talk Kevin Brown?
Yeah, go ahead.
Lots of buzz, Chris.
Buzz? Buzz?
Listen, I was around some people yesterday, then on the phone afterwards. I was at the BOG meeting, reporting from that. That gets you some people going, "Hey, did you see this? Do you understand this? You should be excited about this." And then it just leads to, by the way, I won't fill in the blanks on by the way, but I think West Virginia thinks that there's a chance here. Now, this is not let's just do this because he's available and he's a legacy. It's let's do this because we think we can get him. And will it happen? No idea. But this is not a pipe dream now. Like, you don't
Oh,
come to an official visit unless you know the numbers and all that stuff. All the stuff we went over before. I think there's a legitimate interest here, but I also think that West Virginia is now of the mind that they are in the ring here now. They're the fight.
yeah. And again, some of the intel and some of the things that happened over the last few days might back that up as well. Because I think, some of the math has been done on our board, and it was like, hey, Kevin Brown has said publicly West Virginia and Ohio State are the top two, even though he's still committed to Penn State because he's still waiting to see what Penn State's going to do. But he also admits he can't wait on Penn State forever. Like he's just not going to wait forever on that.
WV,
Yeah. And Ohio State, meanwhile, they just picked up a commitment from another offensive lineman that was previously committed to UNC, I believe. So maybe they didn't get the answer that they wanted from Kevin Brown, and that's why. I mean, it's immediately off the. I think it's like right after Kevin Brown took an unofficial visit to Ohio State. Ohio State takes a commitment from someone else. So I don't know. Look into it what you will.
what role does the VIP board play in this?
The biggest, the most important, always.
What's the tally right now?
I had no idea. It's up to several thousand earlier, and I mean, I was like, you guys started this on like a random Friday afternoon, and now it's. Yeah. I mean,
Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna go here. We're gonna go to the very let's see. Uh
hmm
that's all I'll say. They
hmm
want to see the numbers.
Okay.
If you're not familiar, people on the VIP side on our board have are they donating to the MAC?
What are they doing underneath there? No, they're oh God. All right. I'll just everybody that's watching and listening, we'll put the link in underneath the YouTube video and we'll put it underneath the podcast so we don't screw it up.
Okay. Because they can be part of this, which is to get Kevin Brown to come to campus. Is that right? What's the purpose here?
I don't know. Just give the school money so that the money can figure out what to do.
Yeah, because I think if it goes to the MAC, it can't go to Gold and Blue Enterprises.
Right.
Now, granted, can you take money from one pocket to the other? Probably. Or can you, instead of spending this money here, since you have this money, you can spend it over, you could put more money towards something there. But I'm pretty sure that everything with that NIL Go clearinghouse is so scrutinized that something like this might not fly. It might just have to stay in the Mac pocket.
Yep.
Someone might
It's a
send you
Mac.
the link, Chris.
It's a Mac, but it's a Mac link. That's all right.
You can still help.
Right. I'll say
All
if
right.
if money's not spent over there, then maybe money could spend over here, and there might be a recruit standing over here. So there you go. Not here.
Can't wait for someone to get invited to the spring game again, only to have the invitation rescinded at the last second.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Different times, different leadership now. Speaking of different times, West Virginia back-to-back wins, making November very interesting as they hit the road for the last time next week against Arizona State. And if things go in WVU's way, wow, that final, you're going to have as spicy a finale as possible
Hmm.
based on where you were a couple of weeks ago. And that is something to look forward to, where you're just looking forward to the finish before. Now you're looking forward to the finish for a very different reason. But first, Sun Devils, that won't be easy. Anything else, Chris?
No, that's it. Look out for stuff, guys. Game, basketball game Sunday afternoon. So,
Oh my God, that's right. I mean, oh my gosh, that's right.
yes,
Yes,
excitement.
that's me smiling. Until then, I'm Mike Casaza.
And I'm Chris Anderson.
We'll talk to you next time.